Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Doretta D. Rose report for today. Let me see if I got about 9 minutes 45 seconds worth of news here. Probably got more than that. Katie Leah Burchill is now an official member of the Raw roster after competing in a Diva title tournament this past week, I guess. While her profile has been added to the Raw roster, Paul Burchill still hasn't. And Paul's been working on live Raw events over the past few weeks, by the way. Before the Nasty Boys made their TNA debut on Impact this past week, defeating Eric Young and Kevin Nash, it's been over 13 years since they last teamed together on TV. The Nasties last teamed on national television, they think it was around December 9th, 1996 on an episode of WCW Nitro. TNA's official were planning to have a feud, I guess, between the Motor City Machine Guns and Generation Me, which is a great wrestling match. But Alex Shelley's got a serious back and neck problems and had to put it on hold for a while. Storyline where Jay Black Machismo Lethal, which I wish he would drop that stuff, was wrestling former WWE stars on Impact for supposedly it was a end with the Lethal dropping the Machismo deal. You know, he'd get tired and can't defeat him, so he quits. But anyway, Lethal's TNA status is now kind of up in the air with Hogan and Bischoff in charge, so we'll find out later how he gets along. BG James was backstage this past Monday on Impact TV tapings, filling in for Scott D'Amore. Yep, Scott D'Amore is still there as an agent for the Knockouts division. D'Amore was away due to shoulder surgery. Probably doing too much of this. Kip James was also backstage at last week's TV taping. While James was released in 2009 as TNA talent, he's still under contract with the company and looking for a new role for him. Scott D'Amore will probably eat the role if you find it. Former WWE diva Ashley Massaro was telling people at the Survivor final finale, that is, anyway, red carpet event a few weeks back, that she's in serious discussion with TNA President Dixie Carter about joining the company, and who hasn't been. TNA, and this is kind of odd, AOL television section is saying that WWE is currently working on a sitcom starring Santino Marella. WWE diva Beth Phoenix is slated to play his girlfriend, and Vladimir Kozlov is going to be his best friend. In 2 weeks, we're filming the first of 3 episodes, Santino said. Santino. And, or Santina, whichever's going to be this week. It will air first on the .com, I guess, and then after that, we'll get trying to get a network, to pick up the series. Anyway, USA Network Vice President Chris McCumber, however, said that USA Network isn't looking for sitcoms right now, but acknowledges Marella is a good comedic character. They're always looking for characters on there, you know. Anyway, there was a creative decision idea ran by Michaels and Triple H. Now, catch this. This is not too bad a deal, actually. I think it would be great. It was going to be, they ran it through creative, that with Triple H and Michaels would do a tie in the Royal Rumble. You know, both coming out over the match, over the top at the same time, which would allow Michaels to choose Taker to wrestle and Hunter to choose Sheamus as their WrestleMania opponents. Anyway, the idea was kind of seemingly dropped after the creative team came up with some other new direction, I guess. As reported the other day, I was telling you about Maryse had some dental work done recently, which I've never noticed. I don't look that high, I guess. The Raw Diva apparently fell on her face at some point and managed to chip 3 of her teeth. Probably top heavy, all I can figure. Although plans have changed quickly in WWE, the idea over the weekend that Triple H is the favorite to win the Royal Rumble and receive the title match against Sheamus at WrestleMania. His DX partner Shawn Michaels is expected to face Batista in No Way Out to determine who will battle Undertaker at WrestleMania. The big interbrand match at WrestleMania would pit John Cena against Batista. Alright, WWE's trying to get their people, coming there to host Raw up a notch. So anyway, they like to do things that's kind of hot in the news. Well, anyway, somebody came up with this. With Conan O'Brien red hot in the entertainment community right now, and not yet contractually able to do any kind of new series until September. He will presumably be looking for opportunities to keep his momentum going, which I guess he's available for things like WWE, but he can't go on another network, let's say, other than, the major networks, or start a new show. WWE is hoping to translate it into interest in hosting its weekly Raw program, as creative reportedly tossed around the idea of trying to score Conan as a guest host. There's no word on whether he would even consider the role, but publicity and intrigue he would bring to WWE is why they're looking at the going. It's like Cheech and Chong. They're on a big tour and they got a DVD coming out, so they're going to try and pick them up. Anyway, backstage talks persist that WWE and Sci-Fi are expected to overhaul the weekly ECW series. No specific ideas have been passed around yet, but some say Sci-Fi has been re-pushing its original idea of incorporating science fiction / alternative elements into the wrestling broadcast. And I hope they don't bring back that alien guy again. That was crazy. Regardless of the directions chosen, though, many still believe that ECW name and identity will ultimately be dropped. WWE's lawsuit against Joni Hamilton's Deep South Wrestling, it's been settled out of court. Diamond Dallas Page noted on his recent interview with Brian Alvarez that Shawn Michaels has been using his YRG fitness program for some time now. WWE diva Maryse said on her Twitter account that her first album will be coming out April 13th and is entitled Seven Sins, but it's S-E-V-I-N, 7 Sins. Apparently it's going to be released through Sony. Good brand. The Bellas and the Bellas versus Katie Lee and Jillian Hall, and Chris Masters versus Chavo Guerrero versus Primo in a Royal Rumble qualifying match and a segment with Chris Jericho and R-Truth were taped the other night for Raw for this Thursday's Superstar on WGN. And PW Insider said there was no dark match before Monday night's Raw. So I don't know what the deal is there. They usually at least tape something. Anyway, hey, I did have just enough time to get about 8 minutes in. But check back later tomorrow, or I'll be on here later today. If somebody does something stupid, I'll be on here to let you know. Thanks for clicking. I got to go.